Alright, let's talk about a situation that's got Lions fans scratching their heads right now. Imagine this, you're investing millions in a player, building around them, and then boom, suddenly they're out for months. That's exactly what's happening with the Detroit Lions and their starting center, Cade Mays. Now, here's what really grinds my gears about this. The Lions went all in on upgrading their offensive line this offseason, spending big on Mays. And now, just when they need stability, he's sidelined with a wrist injury. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about losing a starter. It's about the ripple effect this has on their entire game plan. Let me break this down. You know what's wild? The timing of this injury. The Lions were aggressive in free agency, splurging on Mays because they knew how critical the center position is. But now, with the draft and free agency already over, their options are limited. I mean, who actually wants to trade their starting center? The market is a joke right now. Teams are holding on to their starters like they're the last slice of pizza at a party. The Bears got Bradbury for a 5th-round pick, but that was a specific scenario. Now, if the Lions wanted to trade for someone, they'd probably need to offer a 2027 day 3 pick, maybe even a future asset. But is that worth it for a 5-game fix? Wait, let's pause. What if they don't trade? What if they just roll with what they've got? I'm seeing a lot of people panic, but here's my take. Mays is only out for 8 to 10 weeks. That means he'll be back for the second half of the season, which is when the real grind starts. The Lions' schedule in the first few weeks is actually pretty soft, no divisional games. So, is one missing center really going to derail their entire season? I don't think so. But here's where it gets interesting. They have internal options. Scruggs, who's been a solid backup, and Seth McLaughlin, the college star recovering from an Achilles injury. Now, McLaughlin is a fascinating case. He's got that Remington Trophy pedigree, but he's coming off a torn Achilles. That's a red flag for some, but others might see it as a chance to develop a young talent. Personally, I think the Lions are in a weird spot here. They could go for a trade, but it feels like a short-term fix. Or they could ride the backups, which might expose weaknesses in their offensive line. But here's what I find fascinating. This isn't just about one position. It's about how teams handle adversity. The Lions had a rough time last year with their line, and now they're being tested again. Let me ask you this. When a team invests so heavily in a position, does it make sense to panic when things go sideways? Or is this just part of the process? I think the Lions are smart to keep their options open. Maybe they'll use this as a chance to evaluate their backups, or maybe they'll wait until Mays returns. Either way, this situation highlights a bigger trend in the NFL. The risk of relying on one player for a key role. What if Mays' injury had happened later in the season? Would the Lions have been forced to make a trade? Or would they have had to live with the consequences? This whole mess makes me wonder, how much do teams really prepare for scenarios like this? Do they build depth, or do they bet on one player to carry the load? I'm not saying the Lions are wrong for their approach, but it's a reminder that even the best laid plans can go sideways. And honestly, I think the most important thing here isn't the center position, it's how the Lions handle this crisis. Will they show resilience, or will they panic and make a bad move? Because that's the real story here.